under starlight's beam. Heroes rise, in this night they gleam. Pages turn and as fate intertwines. Saturday night, it rewinds. Spin tales, broken mind in the city's electric light. It's torch, heroes fight, every moment feels so right. Welcome to that weekend thrill, where stories, fashion, dreams at will. In this world we take a fight, Saturday night special guide and the night. Wonders, heroes unite. Comics and anime and bring the light. Journey through panels and vibrant screens. This colorful tapestry.
Welcome. It's Saturday night, which means it's time for Saturday Night Special, the 6th best show on Renovision. With comments such as, "For the love of God, let your friend stay where he's at," SNS, and that channel is a rest area toilet bowl, and you don't need any more stinking up the best comic YouTube show going. And this is an absolute terrible watch. Such douche chills. How about we check in with Jedi Johnson and see if he thinks the boys are ready to start the show?
Yeah, I still think we're more prepared than SNS, even with the rush who did on the show.
Well, shit, I hope you boys are ready to bring the mayhem, because an all-new episode of Saturday Night Special starts in 3, 2, 1.
It is Saturday night, and you're locked in to, I'm going to say it, the best damn show on Renovision. I don't care if you like Tack or Pete's Shorts. This is the place to be on a Saturday night for all of your pop culture, because we're not just a comic show. We cover all of pop culture show. What's up? I think we got a good show for you tonight. We got some Sydney Sweeney news fit for Joe. We got best words covered of the week. We got a mega character matchup at the request of Sam. And yeah, we're going to listen to Sam rap. We're going to do some misconnections, all the things you come to this show for. What's up, Sammy boy?
What up, Matt? It's been a great week. Missed you last week. I won't say it was a disaster, but I also can't say.
That's not what I heard. I heard it was an absolute shit show.
Wasn't the smoothest run show last week.
I heard it was an absolute.
Super glad you're here. Super glad you're here.
You mean you don't want to just stare at blank slides and describe what you're doing? Thanks, sir. I appreciate it, man.
Imagine what could be on this slide if we knew that we were going to be looking at it.
The possibilities are endless. And what kills me about that is Thursday, when we're recording our wrestling show, I go, "Okay, Sticks. Now, I won't be there Saturday. Can you run the show?" "Yeah, I got this." "You know how to run the slide deck?" "Yeah, I got this." Sticks refuses to learn how to run the slideshow. He just wants to upload it into StreamYard. And I said, "You can't do that because it's going to upload all the slides." "Oh, it's okay. I got it. I know what I'm doing." "All right, Sticks. Whatever you say, buddy." And then
okay. First off, what you said is only half true. It uploads the first 200 slides. Yeah. It doesn't do all the slides. And so if you have blank slides that fill up the first 200 slides like we do, those are going to push out all of the really meaty, juicy slides, like the ones that we hit at the end of the show, like the Dom game or the quote game, or all of the fun games we do week to week. Those got pushed out, and I was like, okay, can't do it no more. Sorry, Tyson, we got to cut the show. Matt's birthday, that's his 40th hurrah. Sorry, we're done.
I was hammered by that time too. I meant to check in and see how it was going, but I was gonzo.
You were hiccuping in your bedroom.
Well, I found out after my surgery the tolerance for alcohol is for every one drink equals 3. So by a shot and 2 vodka Coke Zeros, I was
You were toast.
Gonzo. Yeah. Screaming about shrimp cocktail and Caesar salad. So
Yeah, maybe you eat a little bit more with your drinking next time.
I can only eat so much. But
Just a little bit.
I had a fun time though. I appreciate everybody that reached out. It was a good time. It was a nice break. I thought I left the show in good hands with Sticks, and I was like, it's all right. He can't get too crazy. Sam's there, and then Sticks can't even run the slideshow.
Sticks. Okay.
Sticks did the best he could with 1970s technology.
Yeah, Sticks's internet ran out of firewood halfway through. So what can you do?
And Kyle was like, Marco called me and was like, what the fuck is going on right now? I'm getting messages about this show being terrible. I was like, why is Marco calling you? You don't even do the show anymore.
Yeah, why is he calling Kyle?
So I don't know, but Kyle was like, I popped
just
in.
A witness. He was just there to witness.
He just wanted to see it firsthand.
It was definitely GIMP energy. That kind of chaos.
Yeah, you guys talked about that again, and it's all good though.
Here we are. We survived the week to make it back onto another Saturday night special show.
Short week too.
Oh man, short weeks are fun while you're in them, or long weekends are fun while you're in them. But then the recovery for me at work is just a bear.
By Wednesday you're still not caught up, and then it's the weekend again. So, but
yeah,
what are you gonna do? But I hope you guys all had a great Memorial Day weekend and had fun. Buffy says nobody listened to Marco, so it doesn't matter who he calls.
That's a great point. Buffy. I'm glad you said that.
But we keep coming back for the douche chill, so there's that. Yeah, I mean, you get them.
I mean, you do kind of feel like we're disaster artists.
So you get them in bulk.
If we are the Da Vinci's if our medium is embarrassing ourselves. So we are experts at that particular medium.
Oh, that's a good sign. My power just flashed, and that's cool. See what happens there. You might be in Sticks territory again if I go down.
Just hit the backup generator.
All right, Sammy boy, what do you got for us tonight to start the show?
Well, you had sent this earlier this week, and it was so strange, but we can talk about some other things too, because there was a lot of stuff that happened right before the show at the Netflix To Doom. But I do want to hit this. I didn't realize you had it in the news deck, but Sydney Sweeney is helping Dr. Squatch sell soap. She says, you kept asking about my bathwater after the Dr. Squatch ad. Well, we kept it. Introducing Sydney's Bathwater Bliss. It's very real, very limited edition soap made with my actual bathwater from the ad that she did for Dr. Squatch just a few months ago. So if you guys want to buy some of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater, it's now on the market in the form of Dr. Squatch soap. You're a connoisseur of Dr. Squatch, aren't you?
I do like their soap. I have used their soap a couple times. I do like their pine tar, but this is a soap that, like, even if you leave it on the shelf in the shower, it just disintegrates. So it's a little overpriced, and in about a week, it's gone. So
yeah.
I don't know if I like it enough to buy Sydney Sweeney's bathwater. I hear you instantly get bored face when you wash your body with it.
Yeah, it's contagious. There's something in the water. My brother also likes Dr. Squatch. That was the only time I went to visit him in Idaho, and he also had the pine tar. Very, very nice. Had that nice grit to it that made my skin feel nice and pampered. But it did tend to just kind of dissolve over the course of the.
That's true. Buffy says everyone rags on Japan for selling used panties. Then this happens in the U.S. That's true. We don't quite have bathwater vending machines yet, but
I mean, it's coming. It's coming. one of these enterprising young ladies is gonna say, you know what? I'm tired of mailing out all of my jarred farts. I'm tired of trying to can my own bath water. I'm just going to manufacture it, mass produce it, and then put it in vending machines at right next to the root beer stands at Comic-Con for the really thirsty young men to
Get your Wild Bill's refill and with a dash of Sydney Sweeney sweat.
There you go. What better market could there be?
Yeah, that's like the top comment I've seen off of it is, bet it smells like vag. Yeah, Sydney Sweeney soap. They have clean, fresh smell of her vag.
That bittersweet aroma.
Smells like trout. Tyson, it also says medium grit.
Medium grit. Yeah. Maybe you can
I don't know. I don't know so much about me needing somebody's bathwater. You're a real sexual deviant if you want someone's bathwater. I know that that streamer Bella Delphine was selling her bathwater.
People were drinking it and getting sick. That's so nasty.
Oh my God. Yeah. Why would you drink that? Like I tell my kids, don't drink your bathwater. It's got all your nasty shit in it. Why would you want to drink bathwater? Yeah. Then you're gonna drink this person's bathwater you don't know?
The real question is, and this is the parlay for the chat this evening.
How many pubes of hers are in there?
How many bars of this soap is Joe going to buy?
He bought a case. He bought a baker's dozen. He already told me. He already said he bought a baker's. He bought a baker's. If I could say the fucking word, baker's dozen.
He already bought a baker's dozen. Well, good for him. He's first in line. He's going to have the first 13 in the serial numbers. Good for him.
He said that he's going to rub down his Sydney Sweeney blow-up doll so he can get her scent on it. So it's like a real experience.
Okay, well, Joe, I hate to break it to you, but blow-up dolls are not exactly the real experience.
Tyson said, must have been Marco. He's a big-time gooner.
Oh my gosh. When were you here when we were doing the goon counter on Marco?
Yeah. It was me and you. Yeah. I was here.
We've got to get some kind of widget so that every time Marco says goon, it just goes ding.
It's like he just found out about that term, and that's like his new favorite term is gooner.
He said it like 12 times in like 10 minutes he was here.
He's secretly a gooner.
So funny. Well, good luck to everybody who's thirsting after Sydney Sweeney's soap. May it bring you all the joy that you desire.
It's only drops of her bath water too. And who's to say it was really even her bath water? Like, do you really think she was in the bath in that commercial?
I didn't see the commercial. I don't even know what this is referring to.
Like a lot of these commercials, all they do is fill they sit in there in like a bikini and they fill it up with suds. It's not even actual water. But Marco is obsessed. Yeah.
Well, I think Sydney Sweeney is probably not my type, but she's a nice looking gal, and I can see why a lot of people are interested. Joe, more power to you. I hope there's a little soap left once you run through those baker's dozen. They're going to last you about 3 days.
Yeah. Give you bored face. He's going to have permanent bored face. Not that he already doesn't have bored face, but
his eyes half open.
Yeah. Cross-eyed too. What's the matter, Joe? I've spent 4 days bathing with Sydney Sweeney.
I've been hitting my groin with medium grit for the last 32 hours.
I've scrubbed it raw. I wonder if they have the extra.
Have been replaced by scar tissue.
Special edition. Potentially get a pube of hers in there.
Oh man!
Why is there long blonde hair in your soap? Are you cheating on me? Don't worry, baby. It's just Oda Sweeney. Oda Sweeney.
Yeah. What else are you gonna call
it? Dude, medium grit.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Joe's gonna look like a bearded prune.
Yeah, head to toe for sure.
So you're not gonna tell which end is which end is the right end from his 70s porn that he watches because he's a big Bush guy. So he's just going to look like an upside down Arby's sandwich with a beard.
Oh, he likes the natural look, huh?
One of these days, she'll be selling breast milk soap. Cross my fingers.
Soap or soup?
Oh, was it soup? Yeah, it is soup. Shit, I can't read. Not that that's a new development, but.
Well, you know, Tyson's got his thing too.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Breastfeeding videos. And Tyson, I got some Steam cards if you have a lovely lady that might be in need of some. I got some Steam cards for my birthday.
Is that how you tip the OnlyFans girls? Is with Steam cards?
Yep. That's how you do it. Steam cards. I got your hookup, Tyson. One of these days she'll be selling milk soup. He meant soap.
He did mean soap. There you go.
I was just channeling my inner Tyson. All right. Well, good luck to all you lonely gooners out there that need some Sydney Sweeney soap to get your jollies off. You just know, like we're joking about it, but you know that's the first thing that some sad pervert's gonna do is just vigorously rub his crotchal region with Sydney Sweeney soap. And
dude, I would be very careful with that grit size. You know, you need something with less grain in it. If you're gonna be doing that activity, that's gonna be real rough. That's gonna be a rough time.
Yeah, it's like sandpaper, but I love it so much. It's the closest thing I've seen to a woman in years.
It's like getting a hand job from a lumberjack.
Why do you smell like sweat and sap? Pine tar soap.
Why are your hands so rough?
But they're gonna. I wonder if like last year was a down year and they were like, we got to do something quick. What's the Sydney Sweeney's bathwater? Let's do it.
Yeah, they've got the artist rendering of Sydney Sweeney on the box, but her eyes seem way too open.
She looks like Tara Strong, the voice actress for Bubbles and.
Yeah, that's a good point. She does look like that. If her eyes were half open, then it would look like Sydney.
It's a missed opportunity. It should be in the shape of tits. They should have a boob window there.
Oh my gosh! Who was it? There's somebody who was doing the subtitles, and they made a gap for her cleavage on the subtitles. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
They're like, bless who's ever doing these subtitles.
It should be like a Power Girl boob window, just with Sydney Sweeney's fucking.
Have you seen her in any outfits that didn't have a boob window?
No, you sell out. You show off your assets, man.
Yeah, she's marketing. She's always marketing.
Absolutely. It's okay for them to do that, but if we walked around with pants that had a little window there that showed off your Johnson, we'd be criticized for it. Yeah.
Just your dangling balls, just the tip.
Criticized for it, yeah.
Just the very bottom, right?
I mean,
the very bottom.
A window that showed off your scrotal beard, they'd be frowning upon you. But it's all right for Sydney Sweeney to show her boobs all the time.
Yeah,
that's all right though. I walk around with my man boobs out and I'm a pervert. You do it and it's socially acceptable. I see how it is.
I don't want the full ball. I just want the
just the top. Just a light dusting. All right, let's get StreamYard changed. So like all of our stuff in StreamYard is now out of order, and so I'm like sitting here looking for everything.
For the bumper for the news.
Yeah, bumper for everything. Like the intro for our show, or our intro is late because the bumper moved. And why is there like 15 Rob Liefelds in here?
By the short hairs.
What? Yeah.
I'm technically not an educated person.
Why is there so many Robs in here?
Who put all those clips in there?
I don't know.
How am I going to grab you by the short hairs?
Okay. Well, somebody just robbed it up, I guess.
Dude, I feel like Sticks must have gone postal with the StreamYard.
Yeah, but what Buffy said, it's not StreamYard, you've been Stixed.
You've been Stixed. He really left the place in a
Oh, he
disarray.
did. It's
after last
in
week.
shambles right now. All right, here we go.
How am I going to grab you by the short hairs?
Rob's just playing automatically now. All right. He wants to grab you by the short hairs. The Legend of Zelda movie is eyeing the Hunger Games and Euphoria star Hunter Schafer to play the live action Princess Zelda. What do you think about her being the live action Princess Zelda?
I don't know. I
Schaefer's
haven't seen Euphoria, so I don't know.
so
is this person a good actor?
they are a trans actor. They're a very good actor or actress in Euphoria. That's the only thing I've seen. I have unfortunately have not seen the new Hunger Games movie, but Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes, not seen it. They're good in Euphoria. She's also up to play Mystique in the Marvel X-Men Studios reboot. So,
oh, interesting.
But are you excited for the Legend of Zelda movie? I know you're a Legend of Zelda fan.
I am really excited about it.
Do you think they're gonna continue their win streak of video game movies and be able to pull it off, or do you think it'll be a dumpster fire waiting to happen?
I think they will pull it off. I think the approach to take here is to maybe bridge the gap between some of the games rather than tell one of the game stories, and then you can be totally original. You don't have to be, oh, we're not telling the Ocarina of Time story. This is a totally separate story that takes place somewhere in the timeline, but we're never going to be able to put it into a game or the game's, some other time. It's just,
so you want it to be like its own self-contained story instead of being based on anything.
There's so many games in the official timeline, and the official timeline itself is now in flux because of the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like Tears of the Kingdom is meant to be a direct sequel, but in some ways it even retcons Breath of the Wild in some ways. So like even that continuity has been changed. And so just make it its own thing. You've got all of this very big sandbox to play in. You can really do whatever you need to do. So it seems like they're branching out. They're just trying to find the right person. And Hunter Schafer looks like they have elf ears already. They're kind of pointy in this picture.
She looks like Zelda. I mean, I think she'll pull it off. But all I know is that whoever they cast as Link, if he says anything other than and yeah, I don't want to see. He needs to speak and only text. If there's any speaking scenes, it's already a lot. It's already a.
Oh, come on! You don't want to hear him say, "Excuse me, princess."
Nope, don't want to hear it.
Oh,
and he better just he better randomly just walk into a village and smash the shit out of pots for no reason.
Like he walks into the pottery shop and starts sweating.
Yeah, just profusely.
Must break.
Just profusely sweating.
Yeah.
And
if he's not like rolling through does the rolling help? That line from Galaxy Quest. He's rolling all over the place to save time. We can get there quicker.
That sounds like Joe making use of the Sydney Sweeney bath soap. Yeah, when you open. He too, when he opens a case, just starts sweating profusely.
Yeah, so I'm excited for this movie. Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, I am too. It just depends on how the rest of the cast turns out, but we'll see. 2027 November, or what is it? Yeah, March 26th, 2027. It's gonna be interesting how they pull it off. King of the Hill revival set for August release date. We talked about this a few weeks ago, but you thought that going back to the basement of that 70s show with that 90s show was a nostalgic trip down memory lane. Well, hold on to your beer cans because you're about to be standing in front of a fence with some pals. A King of the Hill revival officially headed to Hulu, and it's bringing the whole gang back together. Variety reports that this revival will give us a time jump with an adult Bobby Hill working as a chef. We wonder if Hank is still selling propane or if he's gone into the earliest retirement. So there you go. We are going to be April 6th is the release, or sorry, August 6th is the release date. Oh no, sorry, August 4th it says. Fuck me, dude, tonight.
Hey, do you have the picture, Tyson's picture of you? Because that Bobby Hill looks a lot like Tyson's rendering of you.
It is a good one. But I didn't want to play it here because I don't want a copyright strike, but they did release the new intro for the show too. So what's up, Patrick, my man? How's it going? So I'm excited for the revival of King of the Hill. I was just watching King of the Hill before the show started. So
King of the Hill has some classic, hilarious moments, and we talked about those a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited about this too.
Good, wholesome show for all the family. But yeah, I do kind of look like Bobby Hill, adult Bobby Hill, huh? God damn it.
Well, you did, not much anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like Tyson's picture of you looks a lot like him, but post-op Matt doesn't really look like that anymore.
I know. I can't wait to take a trip back to Ireland with King of the Hill again. Up next, MCU rumor roundup. Plans for Ghost Rider Avengers Doomsday. My Time to Shine Hello has shared an Avengers Doomsday update specifically in regards to Ghost Rider. The leaker writes, Ryan Gosling is Marvel's top choice for Ghost Rider. The only obstacle is Star Wars Starfighter. If everything aligns, he'll appear in Doomsday. We'll see if this pans out. Yeah, well, Star Wars Starfighter is probably going to get shelved like every other Star Wars project. So we're probably going to see Ryan Gosling playing Ghost Rider.
Well, that's great. I mean, the other role he was up for, Black Panther, probably wasn't going to happen.
I mean, they've only been talking about Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider since like 2022. So I prefer Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, I feel like Keanu has that darker side to him, whereas Ryan Gosling is more of the dreamy guy. Even in Driver, where he is a very violent person, or the Place Beyond the Pines, where he has that the violent side, the violent personality. It doesn't really feel like he's a dark individual. It just feels like he's kind of forced into these really violent situations. But hopefully he can draw that out and bring it to the character.
Why do you need to do Ryan Gosling when half the time he's showing up with a skull on fire?
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to pay Ryan Gosling for the full movie, even though he's going to be CGI half the time.
Right. Or it's just going to be in a really bad skull mask with no actual flames on it.
Yeah. It's just a wig. It's just like a frayed wig.
Pay somebody else to do that. Just pay Jonah Hill to do that.
Yeah, who's got the presence, but you don't really need the face. That's the real question.
I mean, it's about time for another Ghost Rider movie. Nick Cage, you could bring Nick Cage back, just like you've brought Wesley Snipes back and all the old Fox heroes back. But I'm ready for more Ghost Rider. But yeah, why pay Ryan Gosling's outrageous salary for him to be a flaming skull and you're not even really going to see him?
Yeah, I'll do it. Pay me. I'll do it. I'll be cheap.
They should get Fidel out of the Navy to do it.
Yeah, put Fidel. Fidel's got that darkness. His wife died. His imaginary wife died.
He's good at role playing. He role played an entire relationship and death. He's like next level role playing.
Yeah, he's the guy for that job.
He's like a D&D Dungeon Master's wet dream right there. But
without question,
more Ryan Gosling. I'm here for it, I guess. So I do like Ryan Gosling. I really like him in Stuntman or Stunt Guy
Fall Guy.
or Fall Guy. Yes, that's a good movie.
Dude, that's becoming one of my favorites. I've watched that many times. And it's so easy. It's just so easy to fall into at any point, and you're always rooting for him. The stunts are always fun. Yeah, I really like that movie.
I like him in Crazy Stupid Love with Steve Carell also.
Yeah, that's a great one too.
But that's it for news. Now we hand it over to Sam for big news and anime after I search for his bumper. God damn it, Sticks.
You've been stixed.
I'm technically not an educated person.
Thanks, Rob.
That's gonna be a great.
Before we get into your segment, he's here. He was here today at Fantastic Worlds Isha Shop signing. His hate boner for Marvel is so hard right now that anything Marvel, $60 for him to sign.
$60?
$60. $20 for any Image book or his book. $60 for anything Marvel.
Wow.
More for that. It's like 120 if you want him to sign a New Mutants 98. Insane his hate boner right now. But go ahead, Sam.
All right. So first up, we had the Crunchyroll Anime Awards this week. Solo Leveling won Anime of the Year, the top honor. We had Demon Slayer getting the next top honor, which was Best Continuing Series. In the next slide, we had the next kind of the next three notable series. Your best drama was Frieren, and then Mashal was best comedy. Best film was Look Back, and all of these series and Look Back are phenomenal. I think they're all great. I have watched Solo Leveling probably 3 times. Frieren, I'm on my second viewing. Second viewing on all the seasons of Demon Slayer. Mashal I've watched 1 time, and Look Back I found on Amazon Prime last night, and it was a really good movie. It's only an hour long, so it's not a big time commitment. So if you're looking for some new shows to dig into, I also recommend all of these shows. They're all very good.
Ed, some people have said that your wife's kink is watching Sam's segment.
Yeah, good luck. 3 minutes or 30 seconds. 30 minutes, Ed. We know you're not taking 30 minutes. It's not going to take 30 minutes. 3 minutes either way.
He will if you get that Blue Chew. Use code RENA10 at checkout for your free trial subscription to Blue Chew. All you do is pay shipping and handling. BlueChew.com/RENA10 for your free Blue Chew. Get it today and get rock hard bonus.
Is that a real sponsorship?
No, it's not. No, it's not. Right. Disclaimer, not real sponsorship.
All right, here we go. We also got an announcement of a Death Stranding anime in production. Death Stranding was a really popular video game. And there's another video game in development, a sequel, Death Stranding on the Beach. And it looks like they're, in fact, developing not just an anime, but like 3 other projects, storytelling projects for this IP. And this comes from Hideo Kojima, the producer director of the video game, who said, "I am aiming to make Death Stranding in a way that can only be done as a film, and that will win awards at the Cannes Film Festival and the Venice Film Festival. In fact, we are also currently working on an anime adaptation. There are several Death Stranding adaptation projects currently underway, but there is a different story I've written that's intended for a movie. But I don't have the time to direct it, so I won't, which is kind of like a test for the 3rd phase. I'm in the 2nd phase now and expanding the IP I made in all sorts of directions." So if you're a fan of this property, good luck. There's good news for you guys. You guys will be able to enjoy lots of different adaptations of Death Stranding. And then just moments before the start of this show, Doom revealed the newest member of the Straw Hat crew, Tony Chopper, in their Doom event, live Doom event that started at 5 o'clock Pacific time tonight. In fact, this particular segment aired at about 5:45 Pacific time. And there he is right there on the right. I think it looks pretty good. His antlers are kind of tiny, but otherwise he's got that kind of raccoonish appearance. The nice felt hat with the X on it. I think it looks great. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, solid. I don't, like you said, the antlers are a little tiny, but if you use code REN10 at checkout with Blue Chew, it'll help you with those tiny antler problems.
Swell those antlers up. The way that they're filming it is they're doing facial mocap on the actress who's doing the voice, and then they're using basically the same animation style as they did for Detective Pikachu to get the fur just right, and then superimposing the facial expressions into the character. So pretty expensive, but pretty high-tech animation technique.
Looks clean. Looks good.
Looks
like
pretty
it.
good. All right. And that takes us to this week's manga spotlight, which comes to us from One Piece. They have introduced basically the devil into the manga. The character in the top left there is a character called Gunko, and Gunko has been possessed by the demonic force known as Imu. And then Imu is using that demonic force to possess Straw Hat allies, the giants of Elbath, and turning them into demonic forces that do her bidding. If you'll notice, in the top right, we have a character whose arm has been blown off, but yet it's still doing his bidding by some ghastly force, not unlike Evil Dead. So I think this is the homage to those types of horror films, horror movies where there's demonic forces at play, which is, if you're a fan of One Piece, you know that the old style horror movies were homaged in a story arc called Thriller Bark. And now we have basically the demons versus the angels right now in Elbath. So if you're a big fan of One Piece, things are changing in a drastic way as the story nears its finale. All right, and that'll bring us to High Fidelity. I'm going to tie in my Cactus adventures with Fidel because he came to us from Cactus League, and he still he was playing with Cactus even after he started playing with us. My team is the gray team, the Backstreet Ballers, and we're going to be facing in our first game the Snoop Dodgy Dodge team, which is the darker blue. And they have a mystery player. And I don't think it's going to be Fidel, but they have a mystery. The Trigger Man is a mystery.
So there's no mystery. It's Kyle.
So we'll see who it is. But the team names I thought were kind of clever. We're supposed to be doing 90s bands themes. So we've got Red Hot Chili Poppers. Jinx 182. Not sure what the Jinx is meant to relate to. Tenacious D Dodgeball. Rage Against the Other Teens.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Then we got Backstreet Ballers. Snoop Dodgy Dodge was Nikki's favorite. Chumbawamba. Not that creative. This is not that good. Rednecks, they just gave up entirely. Rednecks. Okay, whatever. Queervana has nothing to do with dodgeball. But okay, whatever. Then we got Jerry and the Funky Bunch. Alice and Knee Pads instead of Alice in Chains. And we've got Throw and Sink. So
they're all teams made up of free agents, huh?
Those last two are the last two.
They're all people that didn't get picked. Congratulations. You were
Yeah.
both teams full of people that were picked last in dodgeball.
Yeah, people who couldn't find teams, so they were last. So we
That's
have 8
fun, man.
regular season games on Tuesday nights, and then we have a tournament on a Saturday in late July. Depending on how late it goes, I might be a little late for the show that day, but hopefully it'll wrap up by then.
Was it just a coincidence that you and your son both got put on the same team?
No. It's not a coincidence. I signed us up. I was trying to get a Triple D dodgeball team, and so most of the players on our team have played at Triple D. The captain, Dylan Clark Oden, he played at Triple D like not a ton of times, but like a handful of times, maybe 4 or 5 times. Robert Peters is one of our regulars, semi-regulars, I should say. And then me, Thaddeus, and Ethan are regulars at Triple D. The problem I had, I mentioned this before, is that you have to have women on the team, and we don't have any women in Triple D. It's not that they're not allowed; they just don't like to come because we stink.
Fidel scared them all away.
Yeah, so we had to team up with some of the Cactus regulars in order to get the women and meet that requirement, which we've done here with Patty and Brittany. So we'll be adding some of these highlights into the mix too. Speaking of highlights, that takes us to the next slide. I finally processed the video from 3 weeks ago that had so many highlights. Everybody who follows Triple D got a big dump of like 7 highlights. So here we go. This is, does the rolling help? There's a lot of rolling. So that's my nephew Bennett. He's my brother's kid. He's about 14 years old. And just to make it entertaining, he was just rolling all over the floor. And then Tyler got jealous and he's like, I'm going to roll too.
That's a lot of rolling.
A lot of rolling. And then we got another one.
On the highlight or?
No. If you go back, I think, did you click on the picture?
Oh, the picture highlight. Got it.
And we got this one is Mitch making a catch right at the edge. He stepped out of bounds, so he is out, but he made the catch as he was stepping out of bounds. And so the thrower is out, Mitch is out, but one of Mitch's teammates got to come back in, luckily, because of that miracle catch.
Ed struck out like P. Rose trying to get to the Hall of Fame. So I made a drink. Answer was, my mother is in the other room. She bone her hip and had to move in with us. Ed said broke her hip. She's 81.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Ed. If she's moved in with you, you guys are just going to have to work around it.
Yeah. Whatever your mother-in-law did to her hip, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's like when the kids come into your room late at night and say, I need a drink of water. Go back to bed. Go back to bed. Well, there you go. That's all for the dodgeball highlights.
Awesome action shot right
Appreciate
there.
your support.
All right, so that means it's time for mega character matchup. I know Sam's looking forward to this one, so I will let Sam continue to serenade you with his beautiful voice and let him go over what we got this week.
All right. We've got Saitama from One Punch Man versus Ultron. I am super excited for this. Here we go. Saitama from One Punch Man is in a league of his own when it comes to power rankings. If we're talking sheer combat ability, he's undeniably 10 out of 10, maybe even beyond the scale itself. His whole character is built around the idea that he can defeat anyone with a single punch, making traditional power rankings pretty irrelevant for him. That's a great point. If we look at other aspects like skill, technique, or emotional depth, then rankings could vary quite a bit. He's so overwhelmingly strong that he rarely needs to rely on strategy in a fight, and his laid-back and different attitudes sometimes make him seem less impressive outside of battle. But when it comes to raw power, he's the undisputed number one. Then Ultron, we've seen many times. He's basically 10 out of 10 on most of these. He's got an 8 out of 10 on fighting skills and 9s in the categories of speed, energy projection, and mind manipulation. So he's like a 9.7 out of 10. for all of these scales combined. Here's our scenario. Will Ultron get close enough? The clash of power and intellect. The battlefield is in a ruined city, of course, overtaken by Ultron's army of sentient drones. The sky crackles with red energy as the rogue AI mastermind surveys his domain. Then, from the wreckage, steps the most unexpected challenger, Saitama, clad in his iconic yellow suit and utterly unimpressed. Ultron, possessing near infinite intelligence and adaptability, immediately analyzes Saitama's physiology, searching for weaknesses. The drones swarm, attempting to overwhelm the caped Baldy with sheer numbers. But Saitama, with his trademark casual indifference, wipes them out in an instant, each punch obliterating entire squads effortlessly. Growing frustrated, Ultron upgrades himself mid-fight, shifting into his most powerful form, one capable of manipulating energy, gravity, and matter itself. He hurls city blocks, blasts Saitama with cosmic-level energy beams, and even tries to warp reality around him. Yet nothing phases Saitama. He casually dodges, yawns, and finally asks, "Are we done yet?" The winner, Saitama. No matter how much Ultron evolves, he's up against something beyond comprehension, a being that has no limits. The AI would analyze, adapt, and strategize, but all it would take is a single serious punch from Saitama to wipe Ultron off the map, along with any of his backup drones. While Ultron may be one of the most terrifying threats in the Marvel Universe, he's ultimately bound by the laws of physics and logic, two things that don't seem to apply to Saitama at all. Great point.
There you go. Saitama's the winner.
Way to go.
Sam's tired of this segment because he just backed us into a corner because nobody's beating Saitama.
We had to, well, no one was beating Ultron either, so it's like trump card. Gotta hit him with the trump card.
One punch everyone.
One punch!
Maybe we can use this segment to find out the answer to the toughest question of who wins in a fight, Saitama or Goku.
Well, we had, in the manga last year, or I guess the year before that, in 2023, they had kind of a reality bending fight between Saitama and Garo. And Saitama surpassed his one punch limit and was able to beat Garo with what he called the negative punch, where he punched him so hard that time traveled backwards. It was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. Tatsumaki can't beat Saitama? Tatsumaki, are you kidding me? No way.
Yeah,
that's also been depicted in the manga. You guys should read it, Buffy. There you go.
Well, you know what they say when it comes to anime.
I'm technically not an educated person.
All right.
All right. Well, that brings us to our best and worst covers of the week. Short list here for this week for best and worst covers, as there wasn't a lot to choose from in either category, great or not so great. So let's see what we got here. All right, kicking us off, we got this Action Comics 775 facsimile edition, Tim Bradstreet cover. Who is this?
That looks like
and why is
the
he
guy
wearing
who sings Never Gonna Give You Up? What's that guy? Rick
Astley?
Rick Astley. Looks like Rick Astley with dark hair.
And why is he wearing Ed's mother-in-law's throw blanket?
Because he's cold. He's cold out there. It's cold in the depths of space, don't you know?
Who is that? Like, who is this guy? I don't know. This must be a J.J. Abrams cover because I love how they add the lens flare right there.
Right.
His cape is Kyle's curtains.
Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. This is a Rickroll. This whole cover is a Rickroll.
It looks like Superman when he's retired and when Lois is retired and he knows he's coming home and he's like, oh my God.
She's
Gonna
got the
what
gray
he's gonna
sweats
walk
on
into.
again.
Yeah,
She's got those sweats tied tight.
Costco brand sweatpants too. I sent it. Yeah, poor Superman.
Yeah.
Next up, we have a Poison Ivy 34. This cover D Betsy Cole DC Pride connecting variant.
Oh, so this is half of.
Yeah, the other half's I'm sure Harley Quinn, but like, look at this face, a busted ass face. She looks like she got too much Botox.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. I'd say. I think it's pretty good, but
that face. She looks like the monster or the alien from Men in Black. Vincent D'Onofrio's cover when she's like, Edgar, your skin hanging off your bones, and he pulls it and like, there, there, is that better? That's what she looks like. Sugar water. Poor guy. Poor Poison Ivy. And then we got this Danny Earls Hulk number 5.
It looks like a butt baby.
What the hell happened here with his dick fingers? In case you need some dick fingers here.
Oh my gosh. Bro, what happened? He slept on the wrong side. Or like half his body got
This is
stunned
what
by
happens after Joe uses all of his bigger dozens of Sydney Sweeney's bathwater soap.
Yeah, only one side is still strong. The other side's been hit with the grit.
Oh,
grit. He does look like he's been rubbed raw with some grit.
Tyson says, shit, I wish for blindness right now.
Just close your eyes, Tyson. It's
Thoracic
totally...
evolved from the prom night dumpster, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
That is really not.
It's rough
great.
out in the streets for Red Hulk. Cut your toenails, bro. Those look like Kyle's toes, no joke.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Did he have his dogs out at your birthday party?
No, but he used to, whenever he would wear sandals or slides, I always tell him that he'd cut his toenails and call them eagle talons because they were always like that, all jaggedy, like poorly cut and just long and gnarly. Yeah. He didn't cut his toes. They just dragged on the sidewalk, so they filed down. Terrible.
Nice. Well,
Buffy says he realized Frank Miller was making money with things like this. That's probably true.
That's a good point. Yeah. We need to get this butt baby off the screen, though. This is gross.
Coming up on some of our better covers of the week, we have this Juliet Nika cardstock cover for Absolute Green Lantern number 3. Good cover.
It's got
good covers this week.
It's got like a psychic thing going.
Yeah, getting encased by the Green Lantern powers. Then we have Batgirl 8. This Jessica Fong cardstock cover. That's pretty good. Then we have this Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong number 1, or Kong 2 number 1. 1 in 25. Kevin McGuire cardstock cover. I like that a lot.
That's cool.
Superman facing down with Godzilla. He's about to hit him with that heat breath.
Godzilla's about to hit him with the nuclear breath. Looks awesome.
Solid cover. Then we have this Poison Ivy number 34 Nigen cardstock cover.
Seeing this one versus the other one, this one is far better.
Yeah,
this one is far better.
Venus flytraps in the hair and really good detail.
Yeah, they look like those hair clips that you used to play with.
They do, yes. That you always
girls at school would let you play with them.
Yeah. And then we have this Lionel Francis Ultimate Special variant for Ultimate Wolverine number 6. The alternate universe's Jean Grey Phoenix. Super well done cover. And then we have this Francisco Mabelli variant on Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 1. So if you're reading Ultimate Universe stuff, this is that incursion that we heard about earlier this year where Miles Morales finds himself in a new Ultimate Universe. So that comes out this Wednesday. Should be good.
So Francisco Mobili. Mobili means furniture in Italian.
So
his
he's
name is
Francisco Furniture.
Frank Furniture.
Frank Furniture. Dude looks like a lady.
Which
And
dude are you
then-
referring to?
Yeah, I don't know. And then we have this 125 Jeff Delka Storm variant.
She's got like an Omega thing on her headband there.
Looks kind of like the WWE wrestler Jay Cargill a little bit. Super good cover. And then for our Don't Mind Me, just a Taco Bell cover of the week, we have the Star Trek, a Lore War, part 5 of 5. Tyson said the Jean Grey one.
Oh, okay.
This is the face you make and people around you make when you let a Taco Bell fart as you're squeezing it and doing the duck walk to the bathroom. And this is just your stomach, the way your stomach feels when Taco Bell's in there, but it's being held hostage.
Does it sound like a duck or do you walk like a duck?
Oh, no, both. Got the walking farts as you're trying to go the distance to make it before you drop the gravy in your pants.
It's too late. It's coming. Shouldn't have ate those sun-dried tomatoes.
Then we have the Immortal Thor.
Also dropping a grumpy.
Yes, also dropping a hard grumpy. This is like when you've been constipated and it's coming out hard and you could feel it right there, but you can't get it out. You gotta
I like that Stormbreaker is hitting the ground, but he really needs the hammer to extend into the ground or the wall or something so he can get a firm grip,
You gotta bite down and give her hell.
Yeah, that face he's making, like the only situation in which you would see Thor is if he's pushing out the remnants of some Asgardian beast.
Yeah, really. This is what Sam's face looked like the one time he was fighting for his life.
That's right. I'm losing this battle. That's the face I was making.
The face of a battle lost. And then for our homage cover of the week, we have Thundercats number 16.
Oh, that is so cool, man. I love that. Variant. That is awesome.
Tyson's Thor had blood pouring out his ass. Yeah, it's probably rough. Rough out there in them streets. But yeah, that is a cool Turtles number 1 homage from Thundercats.
That's so cool. I love that.
That's it for comics. Now we're going to get into first appearances this week. And we had one in Wonder Woman number 8. This all new story starts here, introducing Dr. Poison. My wife just walked by and asked if you were all 16. I think
in our
I'm
hearts.
Gonna take that as a compliment.
In our hearts, we are definitely 16.
Dr. Poison looking like a big brother straight out of BioShock. Then we got Mr. Terrific Year 1 number 1. The first appearance of Athena Prescott. Okay. You need more law in your life or city council.
Super powered lawyers.
There you go. Pushing Mr. Terrific real hard for the upcoming Superman movie. Then in Wolverine and Kitty Pryde number 2, we had the first full appearance of Snow Samurai.
Snow Samurai.
And what makes it a full appearance, you ask? Well, he's on the cover
and
interior. Tyson says, in my mind, I'm 16. And that brings us to my comic book picks of the week.
Dang it, Bobby.
Comic book first up, we have Eddie Brock Carnage number 4. Really liking this series. This issue was a lot of fun. Eddie pretty much tricks Carnage into going to Chicago, thinking that Muse, the whole preface of the story is that Eddie and Carnage need each other to stay alive after the events of can't remember it wasn't the King of Black. I can't remember the event story that happened a few months ago, but the end of that, they needed each other to stay alive, so they made this pact. So Eddie Brock is the new Carnage, and Eddie's whole mission is to help Carnage find a new serial killer to attach himself to. But they're on a plane, and something goes down, and Carnage takes all the passengers and hides them to use against Eddie to make Eddie do his bidding. And Eddie tricks Carnage by saying, "All right, well, we're gonna go find Muse. I heard Muse is still around, so we're gonna go find Muse." And he leads him to the warehouse where all these dead bodies are, and basically tries to burn it down to get Carnage to tell him where these people are hidden. So he uses that fire and burns himself to a crisp in order to force Carnage to show his hand and show where all these people are. It's a good read. It's very interesting, different Eddie Brock takes, seeing him being attached to the Carnage symbiote. I'm really enjoying this series so far. Tyson says, I was hoping Kyle would show up because I have a new avatar with him. Debut it. Debut it, Kyle.
If you build it.
Yeah, if you build it, he will come. That's what I hear. Then we have Ultimate Spider-Man 17. This is a fun read. I still love the Ultimate Spider-Man books. I know some people are out on them. I love this cover. The Mary Jane covers lately have been absolutely killer on any Mary Jane book. This book is fun. You get the differences of this universe versus the 616 and seeing Gwen Stacy as Mysterio in this book, with Harry Osborn still being kind of a little bitch looking for his father's attention, seeing how his father is the AI of his Green Goblin suit. But it's still a fun series if you're liking the Ultimate Universe stuff. And then also Martian Manhunter. This quickly became one of my favorite absolute books. It was tough read the first issue just because it was a little confusing, but issue 2 and 3 really have sold me. I love the use of color in this book. The way the story is told in this issue is the Martian Manhunter is in John Jones are searching out the white Martian. So it's been a fun read. Good. I'm glad, Ed. It's been a fun read. I know Marco hates on it, but Marco hates everything that's good and fun. I just think Marco hates joy.
Yeah, I think he does too.
Hey, this is gonna be a quick show tonight. This is now we're up for Sam. What's up, New Age TTRGP? How's it going? Time for Sam's. Which song did Sam rap better? And this week, Sam has a theme to it. What you got this week, Sam?
We're doing 2 songs with the same title by different artists. The first is Arizona by Rich Brian, and the second is Arizona by Carter Vale. So here we go. Well, time to make another drink. We'll see you later, Ed. All right, here we go. We'll start with verse 1. Hope is gone since I've been in Arizona. Yeah, I fell in love since I've been in Arizona. Oh, when the sun crawls through the blinds, I know exactly who to call. Watching the sunset in your eyes, but I spend the night alone. Ooh, in Arizona, in Arizona, in Arizona. Ooh, in Arizona, in Arizona. In effing Arizona. Transporting through the land, searching for the desert sand. World tour, Jodeci, Diary of a Madman. 4 a.m. microdose, feeling like a madman. Don't want none of that, eyes on the game plan. Pink haze, lemonade. Ma said Brian can't misbehave, but I feel like easy beaming out of the Milky Way.
That's a fucking awesome picture. That's awesome. The man boobs really sell it, Tyson.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude.
That's
so
awesome.
Good.
People try to stop me, but I'm surfing through the waves. I know not yet in my peak. Don't need to give a light show. People wondering where in the fuck is Indo. Staring at my screen. I need a fucking window. Yeah, cold out. So I wear a mink coat. Damn, it feels so good to be a boss. Eyes wide open and smoking on the rocks. Never spent bread, even though I got a lot. Still like to rap, even though I sing a lot. Money flipper, I'm burning Catalina wine mixer. Working not so much, you just might see me in the Sixers. I'm looking pretty good. You might just want to hide your sisters. I put them in their feelings. I give them listening to SZA. Top down, ass up, pussy so good, got me doing backflips. Vivid memories on her mattress. Damn, it tastes good. Drink it from a cactus. Zero gravity in the room like NASA. All I hear is heartbeats going faster. Mention everything. It's gonna last, or it's the last song. Asked you a question. Where's the effing answer? Ooh, in Arizona, in Arizona. Ooh,
We do have
in
Mike's Hard Lemonade in Arizona. Yes.
All right, and we'll go to the other one.
Dude, this is the worst song ever. These lyrics are absolute garbage.
It's like the last song in his first album, so yeah, it's pretty trash. But
The only reason I know he was probably being in Arizona is his first verse of "Hope is gone since I've been in Arizona."
yeah,
None of us have hope here.
I don't know. I love it here. This is where my family's from. All right, here we go. This one's a little bit more upbeat. You're getting sober. I'm getting harder to stand. Arizona. What did you mean when you said nobody gets their kicks for free? I'm coming out like a gunshot. We're gonna fall eventually. So baby, don't stop, do it again. If it's a saying, well then I don't understand. I'm tired of waiting for you to show me your hand. You play stupid just enough to mess with my head. Arizona, tell me what you mean when you said nobody gets their kicks for free. I'm coming out like a gunshot. We're gonna fall eventually. So baby, don't stop, do it again. I hopped the fence to the cemetery at the end of your cul-de-sac. When the ball had gone to heaven, nothing ever makes it back. But I'm a cowboy and you're a ghost town. Don't you want to see me fly? To the movies, to the drugstore, nothing makes it out alive. Nobody gets their kicks for free. I'm coming out like a gunshot. We're gonna fall eventually. So baby, don't stop, do it again. Yeah, Cartervale's pretty good. He's also running out of money. So if you guys could follow him on YouTube or something, make sure he keeps producing music. Dude's crazy, but he's got some good tunes.
Follow him on YouTube. It was Ryan Gosling is going to play Ghost Rider if he doesn't start production on the Star Wars Starfighter there, Greg. All right. And that leads us to our quote of the week. And it's from me, Gooners Unite. I said that as I went into the tax show on a Wednesday, because Marco was talking about it. So I was just like, Gooners, stand up and unite, because Marco is your master.
Masturbator.
And we don't have any game this week. No Dom game. I couldn't find any good Dom pictures. Who said it stuff. I didn't have enough time to get the clips. So we'll get back to right form. But no game this week. So that's going to bring us right to Craigslist missed connections. It's that part of the show where it makes you stand up and go, hey, listen, I want to talk about comics. I'm not here to talk about dudes liking dudes and hot chicks or chicks who might potentially want me or chicks looking for love. I just want to talk about comics. So I'm going to see myself out. It's Craigslist missed connections. All right. First up.
Bro time in Sunnyside. Bro looking for another to edge and stroke with I'm a black fit 189, 5'7", straight looking, 420, friendly as well. Let's watch a movie and oil up and be bros interested. Hit me up ASAP. You must host. The wife doesn't know I'm a gooner.
This guy wants to get real oily with you.
He also has no punctuation.
0. And why is there a comma between the 5 and 7?
Because he's European. Oh, or he doesn't know the difference between a comma and an apostrophe.
I think that's what it is. This is a guy that doesn't know the difference between yesterday and yesterday.
Yes, yesterday.
Looking 420 friendly. Pantyhose feet. Nothing better in the world than ladies' feet and pantyhose. Yummy. Thanks, Joe.
This is a guy who's buying the Sydney Sweeney soap.
Absolutely.
100%.
And he is probably buying panties from a vending machine. Used panties from a vending machine.
And he's getting the large grit.
Yeah, the heavy grit.
He's getting the heavy grit.
The industrial grit, not the medium grit. He's getting the industrial grit.
He's taking it down to the frames. He's taking it down to the bones.
The third layer of skin. Is that third degree burns in your schlong? Nah, man, it's just a Sydney Sweeney soap. It just smells so good. I'm not here to listen to gay Craigslist post. I'm here to listen to Sam rap.
There's no difference. Oh, man.
Tyson says Joe has a ton of listings.
I bet he does. Hemorrhoid help. Hello. I'm a 29-year-old bulk male. I'm going to say that's bulk. Bulk male that keeps getting hemorrhoids that return. I'm pretty fit and work out a lot, which my doctor seems to think is the problem from all the straining and pulling. Even when I've slowed down at the gym, they continue to come back. The hemorrhoids are a bright pinkish color, if that helps. I've tried all types of remedies as well as doctor-prescribed medication. Just looking for any type of guidance that you all may have. Thank you in advance.
We've taken to Craigslist for medical advice now.
We're crowdsourcing our medical advice.
WebMD isn't good enough anymore. We got to go to the missed connections ads for Craigslist for medical advice on your hemorrhoid care.
Yeah, I'm going to post a picture in it. Please message. Let's message for full color.
Yikes.
Crowdsourcing your medical. There you go.
What a world we live in, huh?
It used to be you had to go to the meeting after the AA meeting to get that kind of help.
What a world. Exceptionally ugly and fat, Arlington. He was. Wonder what happened to that fat man. Is he still just as obese or bigger? Pizza delivery. I guess I'll never know what happened to you.
I mean, come on, Arlington. You got to be a little more specific.
Yeah, I feel like this is like half of Arlington.
There's a lot of wheat in that field. You got to be a little more specific as to which stock you're talking about.
He was exceptionally ugly and fat. He was. Wondering what happened to that fat man. Maybe this is a person with a feeding fetish.
Yeah, maybe he's looking for any fat pizza delivery driver.
He's a feeder. They're a feeder, and no one have a.
Is he still just as obese or bigger? Pizza delivery.
I want to lick the pepperoni off his nipples.
Oh man, you went there.
You
went there.
And drink the grease from his belly button.
If you say from under cheese, I might puke.
You've heard of Gouda? You've heard of Gouda? Well, from Munda is some Gouda cheese.
Yeah.
Tyson, what do you expect from Texas?
Could be Virginia too.
Dude, I want this in a poster size right here to hang up on my wall and have Kyle sign it.
Oh yeah, for
that
real.
Tyson picture. Dude, if Kyle ever releases an album, that's got to be the cover for his first album.
It's epic. It looks amazing. Let me eat it, Lorton. Looking for a discreet woman to eat. If interested, email me and let's chat. Got to add a little bit of a fancier accent there because he said discreet. Discreet.
What do you want to? Are you trying to do like what kind of eating are we talking about? Because this is we're getting into like Jeffrey Dahmer territory now.
Yes, is this the suggestive type, or is he literally hungry for a woman?
Are you looking for that Arby's big beef and cheddar, or are you looking for like fava beans with a nice candy?
Yeah. Great. Great question.
Looking for Lost Drummer in Wallaceburg. You play your drums. I want to play with your small penis.
That took a turn. That took a turn. Okay. Well, shoot.
Oh boy.
Those drums.
Play your drums. I want to play with your small penis.
Why's it got to be small?
That's it. Girthy. That's all the show. It was a quick one tonight.
We ripped through it.
We did.
To Doom, you can check out some of the announcements on To Doom.
What's on your mind, Sam?
They had the new Knives Out cast, the Knives Out sequel. Something about a dead man is in the title. I forget.
Dead Man Tells No Tales.
Something like that. But it's got Jeremy Renner, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Daniel Craig, of course. They had a ton of people there that I've never heard of. There's international cast members that I just wasn't familiar with. I think Kerry Washington's in the cast. It was really funny. And then they had Squid Game season 3, which is coming out the Knives Out movie is coming out in December. The Squid Game 3 season 3, I think, is coming out later this year. One Piece.
It's later is it later in June or is I thought it was soon.
It is. Like it's pretty soon. Pretty soon. And then they had One Piece announcements. One Piece is coming out early 26. So we won't get that this year. But hopefully they just move right into season 3 filming soon because they've already got most of the cast for season 3 pinned down. The primary cast for that. So
the new Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie, January 6th, 2026.
Yeah. A ton of announcements for Netflix fans.
Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Those I didn't catch. I only caught the first 45 minutes of it, so I wasn't able to see what
Stranger Things season 5, Wednesday season 2.
Yeah, they had Jenna Ortega make the announcement there, so Joe is probably watching that. That's why he's not here.
Nice.
But yeah, To Doom had a lot of really cool announcements. So if you're a fan of the Netflix properties, you're eating good tonight.
Anybody in the chat see the new Karate Kid? Is it worth going to see?
Oh, is that out already?
Yeah, it came out yesterday. I debated whether or not seeing it.
Yeah. I was hoping for more Johnny Lawrence. I would have I didn't see any Johnny Lawrence in the trailer.
I've heard apparently he's in an after credit scene. But
yeah, I got so sick of Ralph Macchio in
Cobra Kai. Because he's an asshole, just like he was in the original series.
He's so
Daniel LaRusso is the asshole of that series.
I hated him every time he was on screen. And then it was season 3 where it was all John Kreis and all Danny LaRusso. And you hardly saw any Johnny Lawrence. And I was like, I'm just getting really sick of this. Can we get some more Johnny Lawrence in his life? And finally, towards the end, but he's like confused because he doesn't like John Kreese anymore. And he doesn't really like Danny LaRusso, but he's kind of forced to team up with them. And it started to get really messy.
Yeah. Guess nobody's seen it because nobody's saying anything.
Yeah,
love your faces.
All
right,
we'll have to do the heavy lifting there.
That'll probably do it for this week's show. I don't know if we're gonna have a show next week. Just as a heads up, I have a con here to go to. Styx has another prom, shocker. So,
and I don't have access.
and Sam, I mean, Sam could go solo. I can give you access so you can go solo if you wanna have a solo session.
Oh yeah, when just me talking about paranormal stuff,
Anime, paranormal stuff,
anime, and the paranormal.
your soap of choice.
I don't want to get stream bombed by Marco, and then just have him like goon 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 goon.
The Gooner's cave in it. Yeah, just gooning all over you. So, well, if I'm home before the show, we'll try to do a show, but I don't want to make any promises. But yeah. So make sure to check out all the rest of the stuff on the channel throughout the week. Make sure to check out the Star Wars show tomorrow night. Make sure to check out all of Pete's shorts throughout the week. Make sure to check out Tack on Wednesday. Make sure to head over to my channel, Absolute Geek Podcast, and check out our wrestling show on Thursday. And then you can check out, of course, the Qualified and the Hot 10 list here on Friday nights. And then that brings us right back to us and another beautiful Saturday night special. Either way, Buffy says either way, Ed has next week off. We don't need Styx running another show again. Hey man, listen, I heard Styx did an amazing job. I've heard that the people have spoken and they want more Saturday night Styx. They want Styx running the show more. So I might be out of a job.
Who are those people?
I mean,
we just
look around the internet, man.
Get Styx an internet that was made in this century.
X has been exploding with how good Saturday Night Styx was. So I've been told that I might be out of a job. It's going to be up to Styx now, just leading the charge. But
it'll never happen.
Styx's internet, man. And dude, watching it back, any complaints, call Kyle. Watching it back, it was so great watching Styx put up old and empty slides and just have you sitting there like there's nothing on the screen. And like Styx is like sitting there waiting for you to start your segment. And he has no idea. Neither one of you had any idea of like what's going on. Like,
I'm like Styx.
You're like, that's an old segment. Don't do that one anymore. Don't do that one anymore.
Come on, man. Come on. Advance.
He's just waiting for you to talk anime and nothing's going on. And like you're waiting for him to put your slide up and he's waiting for you to start talking. But Ed said, I'd say great show this week, but let's be honest, Styx did a better job. See y'all next week for the Deuce Chills. Damn, Ed.
You know, Matt, I gotta say, this is a tight hour 25, but I really don't want to do a tight show because of that guy in the comments who said that we should make our show an hour long. I'm like, just because you said that, we're going to make it twice as long.
And listen, this was not intended to be an hour and 25 show. Like the games didn't come together this week. I had a lot. All right, I'll tell you a story. All right, I'll tell you a story. So last Saturday, I was drunk as shit. All right. Screaming about, like I said earlier, shrimp cocktail and Caesar salad. Get home, wake up, and I'm like telling my wife, I guess I need to go to the gym. I want to go to the gym. And my wife was like, you're drunk. You're not going to the gym. I was like, I'm going to the gym. She's like, do I need to hide the car keys? And I said, probably. And so she did. And I said, where are you going? And she said, I'm going to the gym. And I said, haha, nice. And then passed out. So the next morning I wake up absolutely just wrecked. Hungover, shit-faced, absolute wreck. All right. So she's like, hey, my wife has her own virtual assistance business, VA business. So if anybody's needed a VA, time-tailored virtual assistants, shout out to her. She goes, hey, my boss is in Wisconsin for the summer and they need us to move, or they need me to sell this wine cabinet or wine fridge. All right, so this fucking thing is like, think of like a cooler that you get drinks out of at the gas station, right? But it chills wine. So here I am hungover, and she's like, all right, let's go move this wine fridge. Well, we get there, and I got a dolly, got straps. We get there, and the whole backyard is being torn up to put in a pool, so it's all dirt. So I'm like, all right, I load this thing up on the diet. I start pulling. My wife, being smarter than me, goes, well, let's just wait for the guy who's coming to pick it up. Yeah, not to mention there was somebody on their way to buy it, right? I was like, no, I got this. It's strapped. I got this. I pull it. I get 2 inches off the patio into the dirt. Fucking hit a bump, drop the whole thing.
No.
Everything on its side. Dude, I'll tell you what. The only thing that breaks on this fucking thing is the hinge that holds the door on up top.
Yeah.
So I start scrambling to try and find one online. It's an obsolete part. They don't make the part anymore. So I had to find a guy locally that has a welding business. And he's like, oh, no, we can't weld it back together. I have to custom make you one. So that was my week. I had to get one custom made.
$300.
Yeah, custom made. And I had to go all the way back to Scottsdale today to put it on the damn thing and fix this cabinet. $200 to get him to custom make it. It was a shit show. It was terrible.
Hey, don't drink and move furniture.
100%. Or listen to your wife and wait for somebody else. Because if the dude who was buying it would have dumped it. Oh, well. And
It's his problem.
$5,000 wine fridge. And I dumped it on its side.
Come on, man.
Whoops.
Come on, man.
Whoops. But got it fixed. And I was out there all day dealing with that shit. So with many trips to Ace Hardware to find the right screws to get the new piece to fit on and this, that, and the other thing. But it's good. It works. Solid now. That was my absolute shit show. But there you go. That's just that terrible story was just to spite the one guy that's like, you need to tighten your show up just to make it a little bit longer.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Shit show for sure. Like last week. Glad you're admitting it now, Ed. Glad you're comfortable and Sam singing.
Hey, nobody gets their kicks for free, Ed.
But yeah, I wonder. I'll have to see if Kyle has a video of me screaming about shrimp cocktail.
Grabbing you by the short hairs.
No, not. He wasn't giving me the old Robbie Liefeld.
How am I going to grab you by the short hairs?
I don't know why there's so many Rob Liefeld clips in here. Don't know, but
awesome.
On that note, we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us as always. Thank you, Ed, Buffy, Tyson, Sarath. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out, kicking it. Ed said, I've been texting Kyle trying to get him to come on and see the new Avatar.
Well, it's too late now.
It's glorious. It really is. Like, look at that, Tyson.
Tyson, you have
Kyle did want me to add shrimp cocktail to your image.
Nice.
I'm just trying to get us to a minute or an hour 30 to completely just destroy this person's world who felt like they needed to comment on that we needed to tighten up our show. Just really send them over the edge.
Nobody gets
and
your kicks.
People love when we talk about life stuff at the beginning of the show and just push off talking comics. And I want to see how they like it at the end of the show now. But I don't know. What else you got that can kill 1 minute, Sam?
Well, I've been reading some family history with my daughter, and my grandfather died in a plane crash in the 60s. And come to find out, the book that we're reading doesn't cover the controversy that surrounds this plane crash, because my grandpa died with his brother and his nephew. And there's some bad blood in the family about whose fault it was that they were even flying this plane from Montana to Kentucky, and then it crashed in Wyoming. And so the fact of the matter was, my grandpa owned a ranch with his brother, and the nephew worked for them. My grandpa's brother had a gambling problem and was embezzling all the money from the ranch. And so my grandpa had to fly up, or had to go up there in order to sell some cattle in order to keep the thing afloat. And then they had another farm in Kentucky that they were running. And so he was basically selling cattle in Montana to pay for the ranch or the farm in Kentucky. And while they were flying, he had a big old stack of bills in his pocket, and the plane went down, and they couldn't find it for like 10 weeks. They couldn't find the plane.
Was your grandfather's initials DB?
No.
Last name Cooper?
No, I'm actually named after him. His name was Samuel Neil Gardner. But they found my grandfather with the plane wreckage, but they found his brother and his nephew miles away. They had fallen out of the plane. They weren't in the wreckage, but they did find everybody and were able to bury them. And then, like, all the life insurance paid out and all the other things were able to get taken care of. But the bills in his pocket got cut in such a way that it preserved the serial numbers, and so they were able to replace all the bills and use that money, even though it had been damaged in the crash. It's kind of a little blessing amidst all that tragedy. But did they find a roll of money? Yes, they did. It was in his pocket.
They thought that it was Blue Chew, but it was just a roll of money.
It was a roll of money. A lot of bills.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that did our 1 minute. So joke's on you, guy. This show will never be tight. Ever.
Suck it.
Either you've got me confused with somebody else, or this is a joke.